I was in Kumasi at the time, and my grandma was getting her house painted. So one guy came, you know, he was painting the house, and then he was like a Rastafarian. So he was speaking like, you know, patois to me. And I was like, Masa, and he was so shocked. Hi, my name is Renata, and I'm a video editor, presenter, and entrepreneur. So I'm half Ghanaian, half German. My mom is Ghanaian, my dad is German. I was born in Germany, but I've lived in Ghana. Well, when I was young, I lived in Ghana for a year, and I had been to Ghana quite a few times, maybe about 7-8 times. And then in 2021, I decided to obviously move to Ghana. Like I said, I grew up in Germany, moved to the UK in 2008, and moving from Germany to the UK as a mixed race person was quite interesting, because I remember college times, for example, I would have all of, like, you know, black guys trying to talk to me, you know, because there's a mixed race girl, so they're trying to chat to me. And I thought it was really strange, because in Germany, you know, nobody cares if you're mixed race, if you're black or white, like we're all the same. And then I then went to uni in Southampton, and there it became even worse, you know, like all of the black guys were trying to move to, like, they'll call them the lighties. And you know, and then I started asking, like, the black guys there, like, what is it about you guys and black and mixed race girls? And you could tell that the black girls there were feeling really uncomfortable. You know, it's like they have some sort of hatred towards mixed race people. And I never understood, because for me, I'm just like, I grew up around black people, so I was always attracted to black people, you know. But the black girls towards me were so nasty. And then, you know, guys were telling me it's because they've built this culture whereby you know, black guys are attracted to mixed race girls, and the black girls have just been pushed to the side, you know. So for that reason, black girls in the UK felt some type of way towards you know, mixed race girls. So moving to Ghana has always been like the biggest dream of mine. I remember when I used to come to Ghana, you know, in my teenage years, and the day that I'm leaving at the airport, I'll be crying my eyes off, like, I don't want to leave Ghana, I want to stay here. So I always said to myself, I want to move to Ghana one day, but I never knew when exactly. So in 2020, my husband got an opportunity in Ghana, and I just thought, you know what, let me just grab that opportunity as well to move to Ghana. So in 2021, like I said, end of 2021, I then decided to make the move. You know, I just thought, you know, this is the right time, and let me try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I know I can always go back. So I visited Ghana before I moved. The last time I had visited Ghana was actually in March 2021, and prior to that it was December 2019, and then before 2019 it was in 2010. So I was still my teenage years. And whenever I had come to Ghana, like, my family were from Kumasi, so I had never experienced the Accra life. So when I came in 2019, you know, obviously December time, party time, I decided to stay in Accra with my brother, and I really enjoyed it. You know, what made me really love Accra was that, you know, you have things like Burger King and KFC, and those are like little things that I missed, like when I was in Kumasi, for example, or in Cape Coast, because I had family in Cape Coast as well. But when I stayed in Accra, you know, I saw all of these things that we had in Europe, and I also saw a lot of foreigners that made me feel a bit more comfortable. The process of moving was quite easy. I had like 2 suitcases, because, like I said, I had come in March 2021, and I left all of my summer clothes here, because by the time I was going back to the UK, you know, it was cold. So I was like, there's no point in me bringing back my summer stuff. But yeah, I brought 2 suitcases. My husband was already here. You know, we already had a place to stay. I had also arranged, you know, some sort of job here. So when I came, it was, yeah, it was quite easy, you know, like trying to settle in. I mean, I speak the language. I've been here quite a few times. I know a bit of the culture. So yeah, it was easy, I would say. First of all, the problem what I find is houses are so expensive, and I feel like the money that you spend here on rent, you could use that same money, you know, abroad and get something nicer than that, you know. So that has been the biggest thing. And another thing that I don't really appreciate here is where you have to pay, you know, 6 months, a year, or 2 years in advance. You know, it's not that you're paying, you know, 200-300 cedis, 400 cedis. You're paying thousands of dollars a month, and you're expected to pay 1 year in advance, 2 years in advance. And I mean, you can use that same money to, you know, get a mortgage, for example, in the UK, which you can't do here. So I think that is something I'm finding very challenging in Ghana, because, you know, sometimes you see nice places that you really like, you think, oh yeah, this is my standard, you know, but then when you then ask for prices, it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking at some houses on Instagram. I'm really interested in buying a house soon, and I found a really nice house, 4-bedroom house in East Legon. Cost was $280,000, which I think is okay, you know, because that's the same sort of price you'll be paying in the UK, for example. But then when it came down to a payment plan, for example, there was no option of like a mortgage, for example. So what they do here is either you pay within 1 year or 2 years. So the 1 year, the option was for you to pay $20,000 a month, or you pay, you know, within 2 years and you pay $10,000 a month, which is just ridiculous. I mean, who's making that much money here? Even if you're making that much money, it doesn't make sense for you to pay that, because like I said, you can use £20,000 or dollars to buy a property in the UK, and you get a mortgage on it and you pay within 25 to 30 years, which is not an option here, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, one thing I really like about Africa or Ghana is that, you know, you can get everything done. So you can get somebody to do anything for you, everything that you can think of, you know, whether good or bad. I don't want to like give you any ideas, but literally anything that you can think of, whether it would be somebody cleaning your house, coming to wash your clothes, you know, little things that you would normally do yourself. You know, you clean your house yourself, you will wash your dishes, you will clean your clothes, like all of these little things, you can get somebody here that will do that for you. Even at work, for example, if I'm hungry, instead of me, you know, picking up my bag and going out to buy my food, I would just send somebody out, can you go buy me something? They'll go do it, you know, and you don't have to pay them, they'll just go and do it. So I think that is one thing I really like here. And although Ghana is stressful, there's also some sort of peace here, if you get what I mean. You know, in Europe, you have all of these bills coming in constantly and all of that, which then puts a lot of stress on you every month, because you know when a letter is coming in, it's a bill, you know, which you don't really have here. So, yeah. And of course, I enjoy the heat. I mean, sometimes it gets a bit much, but yeah, the sun is good here too. Yeah. So my plan was to obviously stay here forever, you know, have my family here and everything. But since I've moved to Ghana, I mean, prior to that I had lived in Ghana for a year, but that was when I was younger. So now that I've actually come and seen how things work here, I've just been a bit like 50-50, you know. Sometimes I just feel like packing my stuff and going back to the UK. But other times I'm just like, you know what, let me give myself a year. I've only been here for 4 or 5 months now, and I don't think that is enough time for me to, you know, settle in properly. So I've given myself a year, you know, to see how it goes, and I would then decide from then. But I would ideally like to stay here long term and, you know, get my kids to go to school here. Yeah. So yeah, I do speak the local language. I speak Twi. Like my mum is Ashanti, so you know, she taught me Twi. And also, like I said, I grew up in Germany. Well, I was born in Germany. I was raised in Germany as well. So my mom didn't speak German, so the only language she was speaking to me was Twi. That's how I then got to speak Twi, and I speak it very well. Sometimes, obviously, because people see me as a white woman, they might just think, oh, she doesn't speak it, or she just speaks English or whatever. But I actually speak it, and there's been a few incidents. Like, for example, in the UK, I was working in like a supermarket, and there were 2 Ghanaians who were, you know, cleaning the office space, and they didn't know I was Ghanaian. So at the time they were cleaning the toilet, and I went into the bathroom, and, you know, they smiled at me. Hi, good afternoon. I said, hi, good afternoon. I went in, you know, did what I had to do, and I could hear them speaking Twi. They're like, this one has gone in there. She's going to make the whole place dirty. And they were like, we all go around no fee. And in my head, I was just like, bro, you were just smiling at me, you know, good afternoon and this and that. And as soon as I shut the door, you're gossiping about me. But anyways, I didn't say anything. I just went out and then I said, oh, thank you, and I just left. But that was one experience. And another one, this was when I came to Ghana, I think in 2010 or 2007. And I was in Kumasi at the time, and my grandma was getting her house painted. So one guy came, you know, he was painting the house, and then he was like a Rastafarian. So he was speaking like, you know, patois to me. And I was like, Masa, and he was so shocked. He was like, wait, as a white person, why are you not speaking English? Why do you not understand English? And I was just like, bro, I only speak Tree, so speak Tree to me. Because at the time, I didn't speak English. I only learned how to speak English when I moved to the UK in 2008, you know. So, yeah, he was just so confused. Like, how come this white girl doesn't speak English, but she speaks Tree? So, yeah. But I really love that part about me, because when I go out in Accra, when I get into a taxi or wherever I go to, I always speak English first, because I know you know, Ghanaians like to gossip, so I always like to listen to what they're saying, if they're bitching about me or not. And then obviously when they start bitching or when they start getting rude or, you know, trying to cheat me, then obviously I then come in with my treat and they're like, hey, oh, Brony, your country, you know. So yeah, that is my experience.
Thank you.